You guys ready?
Right. Ready for the shot?
In 5, 4, 3.
Oh my, oh my. Welcome to Motherfunkler. Greetings to all our fellow Funklers. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Please share our link with your friends and family. Send us your reviews, comments, and questions. They are greatly appreciated. I'm downtown Trevor Brown. We are at Atomic Barber Company in Hannibal Square, Winter Park, Florida. The Prince of Misery is here.
Yep. Well, I mean, you could say that, but the nightmare persists, but so do I.
And the DJ Blue Raja is joining us.
Hey, I want to get the show started today with a shot of Jaeger.
Very nice.
And
Jaeger.
the Jaeger King is not going to have any. He's on coffee.
Oh, I miss it so much. I can't
So
wait.
here we go.
While they're doing
20
this,
days.
need to honorable mentions to the Wizard of Ed and our super producer, and then the Intuitive Muse is
Very
intuitively
honorable.
musing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So
Heavy week.
Heavy.
Super heavy week.
Last
Heavy
week
flow.
or this week coming up?
This last week.
Oh, okay.
Did you say heavy flow?
Yeah. The PR didn't get
I
it.
don't. Always have a heavy flow, but it just there's no pressure.
See, he doesn't get it. Oh, man.
Yikes. Yikes. Since sobriety, I'm trying to think. This is a very large thought, and I'm hoping we can play around with this.
All right, let's see.
I've had to come to terms with reality, and very recently I'm coming to terms with the possibility that I play stupid with everybody. I lower my perceived intellectual capabilities so that I can win people over subconsciously to manipulate. Then, because I drop my intelligence level to somebody else's level, and now I'm feeling fucking weird for saying that other people are more stupid than I am. But,
Don't. It's true
what is true?
that everybody else is fucking stupid.
Okay. So because I have to drop my intelligence level to interact, when I'm not mentally stimulated anymore and I get bored, I start fucking with them for my own entertainment. And then that leads to the relationship imploding.
Fair enough.
So I'm attempting to. I want to dive into this and see if you guys can give me feedback. I think it's a. So I know I've read things lately that as far as manipulation goes in leadership and business, to dumb down, like to make to play a fool and make people think that you're not as smart as you are, so that you can do more, you can get away with more shit. I think that vast majority of humans do this subconsciously.
I mean, I think a lot of people dumb themselves down for multiple reasons. I mean, I think that's one of them. But, I mean, truthfully, when you reach in and see who's happy, the very smart people are not very happy. Like, you kind of have to be dumb to be happy. When the way I relate to what you just said is I dumb myself down because that's a large component of alcohol. Because the smarter you get, the more you see what's going on, and what we're all existing in is just fucking misery, and it just is not happiness. So I guess that is very self-destructive if you're saying that what you do is dumb yourself down, and then as you let yourself out, your relationships implode.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks. Doesn't that make you sad? Doesn't that make you feel like it's the self-destructive behavior?
Right now I'm going through a one of the stages of like grievance, where the stage that I'm in, I'm embarrassed that I've done this.
So grieving, not grievance.
Well, I mean, like the 12 steps of recovery.
Yeah.
If somebody,
Yeah, I got you.
there's the different. You're angry.
Well, airing of grievances means that you have a problem with somebody else. If you're saying that you're grieving because you're noticing,
Well, I'm not
a negative
right now.
from
I'm
yourself.
in the embarrassed about
Okay.
that I've done this and not even realized it for virtually my entire life. And it's
what's
it's
the
a very-
alternative?
So
Because what I'm getting at is that what you just said is infinitely sad to me. I mean, it sounds
no,
like
the alternative
would you have
is
another
to-
choice?
The alternative is to enter into interactions at top level, and if somebody doesn't receive or reciprocate the level of energy, you shouldn't judge, you shouldn't be upset, but you should be yourself to attract other people that are on your level. Or
then you're just going to end up alone.
no, I disagree with that. I since I've identified what I think is, this psychological speed bump, I have been. So the example is, you guys remember the chat that we had about the butcher that gave me the response
Yes.
about
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
I
trying
never
to
remember. No, you
I can't
went
remember
in.
the quote, but I
No,
remember what
you went
said.
in and I've
So
been
trying to
answering-
manage
you go
expectations
manage
in
expectations for people.
Yeah.
like trying to answer people's dumb questions.
So
And you're like, thanks, bro.
So since that actually kind of sparked this tangent. So since then, I go in there typically every Sunday to get meat for the week, and I actually enjoy talking with them now.
Oh my god, dude!
So
Really?
today I walked in. Today was actually the first time that we had a real interaction, and I've been thinking about this concept for the last week. So when he sees me from across the counter, says, "Hey man, how's it going? How can I help you?" I say, "I want a pound of this. How's your day going?" Actually, he asked me today. He goes, "What are you up to today?" And instead of being like, "Oh, nothing, just having some fun," which would be the old manipulative shit, I was like, "Well, I'm teaching the intuitive muse highway driving lessons. Today's my cheat day. I'm gonna eat this meat, and then we're gonna go out to dinner. I'm thinking Mexican food, and also a double recording of a podcast." And he lit up, and instead of just kind of blowing him off and being like, "You're some fucking chump behind a counter," we had a better interaction because I didn't dumb myself down.
So here's the thing. A lot of what you said concerns the shit out of me, right? One is that you are trying to manipulate every relationship that you engage in.
Well, first of all,
which
it's
is-
only going to scare the shit out of you, because what he's saying is fucking raw and embracing of how miserable it is. This shit rubs you the wrong way. You cannot
completely
fathom a world
So
that
here's the
he's
thing:
describing.
is that what you're saying is that you are immediately seeing somebody, and the assumption is that you're smarter than them.
No, this is so this isn't some egomaniacal fucking intentional manipulation. It is a
So there are
subconscious
relationships
deal of like asserting dominance.
So
and I
there are
think that
relationships
exists
that you would,
in our
there are relationships that you would go into where you are the idiot in the room. Well, how do you respond to that?
Well, no, I walk into most situations, and I think.
So would you
what I
like
might
it
do-
if you knew that they were dumbing themselves down to interact with you?
Dude,
I think people do. I think people do it every
I
fucking
could
day.
fucking
So-
jump in and
so-
answer that real quick. I fucking think I fucking know I'm smarter than most people I meet, but I would do anything to be in a fucking room with people smarter than me all the time. I
Yeah.
would do
So-
anything
yeah,
to be
yeah,
in that
so
room.
that's
That
your
room doesn't
percep-
fucking exist, is my
Yeah,
point.
that's your perception, though. So the reality is that there are many times in a room, and you're not the smartest person in the room. I'm gonna say that it's probably 50-50 when you are in a room where
Dude,
you're the
when
smartest.
I go to any of this shit with law, like,
Yeah, but I'm just
the
saying it's
fucking
a-
dumbest
you know,
person in the room every time, and I love it. I love being around those fucking people that are better
I'm
than
saying
me.
that what I would think my point of departure would always be that I will be myself in that room or when I'm engaging with anyone, right? And in that conversation, whether that person is smart, not so smart, whatever we want to categorize that person as, I want that person to be as real in that interaction as that person is, and I will be the same. And very often you find that there's a level of engagement and energy because we have such diverse interests that we engage. So, in the realm of meat, for example, right? That butcher, that guy is actually way smarter in that instance than you are, right? You would expect that person to know a lot about.
So he knows more about the particular thing.
Yeah, what he's serving,
Got
for
it.
example, right? When you go to the sommelier person, right? For example, now you in your barbershop are an expert and at kind of working out what people need and what they don't need, right? But in another situation, the sommelier is way more superior at what they're offering. So my sense is that if I'm always going to be myself and authentic and just me, I'm going to get the best out of the situation that I'm in.
Dude, but you're never truly yourself either. And there is no yourself. Even when you're by yourself, you're fucking telling yourself lies.
No.
Like you change. You've said it on the podcast before that you walk into a situation and have put on a different face, a different mask, a different outfit, a different way of acting when you're in different scenarios.
No, I think that
There is no authenticity. There is no truth. I'm
gonna be the person that I am. I'm not going to manipulate, which is what I'm hearing from Trevor, which is where I'm taking an issue, is that you are trying to, which is what you've said, and maybe you need to help me out in trying to understand it. You're trying to drop your expectation of the interaction. You're dumbing yourself down, and as things progress, you're going to try to get up to the same, or to try and reveal who you really are.
Well, yeah, so it's not really a revealing. It is the initial dumbing down, I think, is to win people's favor. And I mean,
but do you really care? Because I must say, I don't really care. I don't really.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
But this is part of a few conversations we had ago about being unemotional, like trying to shed emotions and not attach emotions to everything. This is a last thread that I'm snipping.
So here's the thing: is that
I think I did care, but I want to know the mechanism behind this part of my psychosis.
So here's the thing: is that I think that I'm very emotional, right? I think that I'm very emotional, and it does bother me when if I feel that people don't like me. It does bother me. It does bother me when I feel that I'm not resonating to a group of people. However, my way is to then, I've now established that I don't resonate in a certain environment. I'd be happy to walk away. My ego is bruised, but I would rather know it right up front or as early as possible. And there are those situations, and I think you guys know some of those situations, right? That exist here in Winter Park, where we've chosen to withdraw from certain instances where we don't feel at home. But I would not want to be in a situation where I'm trying to manipulate the situation, where I'm not being myself to please. I may have been like that 20 years ago, to be honest. To Nick's point, maybe 20 years ago I was trying to be a people pleaser, maybe. But as maybe I got, I would say, and this may be a horrible thing to say, but as I got more financially independent, I care less about what somebody else thinks, right? And I would rather just be myself, be in an environment with a group of people. If I resonate with them, if I get good energy from it, I'm going to continue to engage. If I get bad energy from it and I feel horrible, I would disengage.
I was going to jump in and say that I think it's so easy to fucking say, I don't care what other people think. I think
that's why
not only do I care, I think you have to care to succeed. I think you have to care just to have a good existence. You have to care what other people think. And what Trevor, I think, is doing is reading the room, determining in certain situations that he needed to dumb himself down because people will be turned off by who he really is. I have fucking absolutely, I think every time you step out, you're telling fucking stories everywhere you go at all times, even to yourself, most of the time. That's the comment I made to you. So I have no fucking problem with it
but
at
the
all.
point is that though, if,
I'm not gonna walk around going, "Oh, please
Yeah.
like me." I'm gonna act the way that I want to act to attract the type of people I want around me.
Exactly.
Those people I care what they think, and I'm gonna conduct myself in a way that I care what they think. If people pull out, if people are like, "I'm done," like this isn't my jam, then that's somebody I don't want to be around anyway.
But the thing is, Nick, in those instances, and I know you well enough to know that you're not going to change, your mannerism to please.
Well,
if
that's
you
bullshit.
feel,
I fucking change it depending on scenarios.
yeah, I'm
my
talking
friend.
about.
I give you
I'm
fucking
talking about in a
examples.
social engagement. In a social engagement.
Yeah, I do it all.
You do
the
it all
time.
the time. Well, I would have thought that you didn't, and I thought that you were always giving out a certain type of energy and a certain type of mannerism. But maybe I've read it wrongly.
No, that's my authenticity.
Yeah.
I'm authentically inauthentic.
Yeah, but I would feel very uncomfortable that somebody is having me in their circle, right? Which is the point that you were making about Trevor, and they didn't quite know who I am.
Nobody knows who you are.
and
That's my
that-
fucking
yeah.
point. All I know is the PR that I've seen that gives the fucking wake up, dress well, produce well, like the fucking have
Can
synergy.
I just say it's
be
look
positive.
good, feel good, perform
Yeah,
better.
that's the PR I know. I don't think that's you.
And that
I
is-
don't fucking know the
yeah,
deep dark
that
PR.
that is completely me, and there's no deep dark PR, right?
Yes, there is.
Well,
Always.
no, there's no deep dark PR.
If anybody ever really knew anything about us, if anybody ever really knew about deep PR,
Ooh, they'd be scared
fucking
shitless.
horrified.
What I
and
could s-
rightfully so. We're fucking animals.
So what's this? Let's put it this way: if I have an experiment, and let's say I hypothetically take a mushroom, would I be able to then be able to the experiment be able to give you my true
I
personality?
mean, I think you'd take off all your clothes and run around naked. That's what I think you'd
no,
do.
I'm asking a question because I've not done it, and I'm thinking of doing
No,
it.
no.
No, would I still?
We
would I still
protect ourselves from who we really are. Let me give you an experiment, because you don't know the answer to this unless you ever found yourself in a situation.
Right.
What if you were in a situation where you could sacrifice your body, your life, to save somebody that you do not know, and at the end of that, nobody would know that you did it? So I guess what I'm saying is you can save yourself, and nobody will know that you selfishly saved yourself. What choice are you going to make in that situation? Are you going to sacrifice yourself for another person, or are you going to save yourself? The point I'm making is that whatever answer you're going to give right now, you don't fucking know unless you were in that scenario. That is deep, dark PR.
and that's what's no. There's nothing dark about it. Is that one is that the first and foremost thing? I'm not at the
Either
point
one of those choices is
No.
dark. And if
No.
you were forced into that, yes, you would have to make a choice.
So here's the thing: is that I haven't achieved the kind of the guru status, right? I'm all about me, okay, my immediate surroundings, which is my friends, my family, and my community. That's what I care about right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're talking to me about saving a stranger, I'm sorry, you're on your own. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
dude.
I'm.
That's
So
You don't
dark.
know.
So
I
here's,
know.
here's the thing.
So dark,
That's
man.
not dark.
Listen to
That's
you.
not dark. That's me saying my level of evolution. Right?
It's me saying
Right
that you're
now.
avoiding looking at the dark aspects of of the choices you'd have by saying, "Oh, it's just my family, it's just my work, it's just my podcast and my friends. I'm not going any deeper. I'm not thinking about any of this shit. I refuse to because I don't want to face who I really am."
I don't need to think about it though because I haven't had that.
And that by itself is pretty fucking dark, I think, man.
But if I get to that point,
That means you're scared of what's underneath.
No, it's just that I would save somebody. Let's put it this way:
You'd sacrifice your life to
if my
save somebody
son
else?
needed a heart, let's put it this way: if my son needed a heart, and if the only heart he could have
I
was
didn't
mine,
say your son, bro.
No, I'm saying that if you a very defined person, right? If he needed that, that's the level of sacrifice I'd make.
So a stranger, you wouldn't do it?
If you needed a heart, not a stranger, a friend, you ain't gonna get it.
All right.
You're not gonna get it from me.
I'm saying what I'm saying is you're in a scenario where you can either save a total stranger or save yourself, and nobody would ever know
Yeah.
that you didn't save the stranger. Do you what's your choice?
I would if
You're
I'm
saving yourself?
Yeah, I would save myself.
Okay.
No, I mean I don't consider that because it's a hypothetical. I don't know why I'd be. If I'm about to die, there's various scenarios that we could unwind if I'm about to die, and I have an opportunity as part of my last wish to be able to give somebody an organ or something.
In your
they can have it.
scenario, is there like how much time do you have to make the decision?
I thought you were about to go somewhere completely different that I was really getting fucking excited about.
Well,
so where I was gonna go is that for me, I'd have to know other factors.
That's where
I'd
I'm
have
going.
to know how old is the person.
I want to know.
Are they good looking?
I want to know what was in their last grocery cart.
Yeah, like there you go. See, I would need more information to make the determination as to whether or not my pathetic existence is worth giving up for whatever this is.
If it's a guy with a bunch of fucking boxed pizzas
Yeah,
and
I know,
canned
right?
foods and then
Yeah.
some shitty exercise Powerade Gatorade shit,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Or somebody who just spews self-positive taglines at me all the time instead of looking into themselves to see what decision they'd actually make.
Et tu, bouteille.
There's another one.
Straight at you.
All right,
You got
so there's a
cliches
second-
for days, baby.
There's
Cliches
a second
for
part
days.
to this of the part that what I'm exploring is when I get bored, I start fucking with people. Do you guys fuck with people?
No, I don't really. It seems
that
like a
is
waste of my
Trevor.
time.
That is a Trevor thing, though.
Yes,
You know, it is-
100%.
and it's true to you, and that's fantastic.
If you enjoy it,
right?
rock and
That's
roll,
good.
brother.
I-
All right.
You know, for me, when somebody phones me that I don't know, I'm going to cut the call. I'm not even going to engage. You, on the other hand, you take the call and fuck with it.
Yeah.
To me, it would drive me to have another Jaeger.
I think I just have such a distaste for everybody. Like, I think the person who call that you would otherwise engage to fuck with them, like, I hate them. I really just can't stand the fucking nobody so much that I feel like I'm wasting my life. The 5 minutes I won't get back. It's like when I'm driving and some fucking piece of shit's going so fucking slow and doesn't realize I now missed the light because of them. That piece of shit cost me 5 of my finite number of minutes I have on this planet. And for that, I want to follow them home and, strangle them with their own shoelace. But I don't do it because I'm not going to waste my own time.
But that's a good quality that you have there, Trevor. That you have a different temperament definitely to both Nick and I, because I'm irritated. irritated. I hate saying this though to sound like Nick, but it drives me nuts that somebody is actually calling me that I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And they trying, my sense that they're trying to sell something to me, or they're gonna, so I'm not interested, right? But the fact that you would take the call and say, this is John's chicken place, or whatever, or the sheriff's office, and now you're gonna engage with them, I think that's hilarious, and that's a great strength that you have, one that I don't.
I do something opposite. I like to take adventures where I go out on my own and kind of try to meet and talk to people.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and where I'm coming from in telling you that most people have nothing, try and strike up random conversations with people, and a lot of times they're just going to ignore, like they don't want to engage or whatever. But the people who do care to engage, you start talking to them about their life, what drives them. Like, what matters? Why do you fucking wake up? Nobody has any idea. They don't have a good answer. It's fucking, I don't know. I wake up every day. So I'm awake. And I got to eat. I got to take a shit. I got to fucking take care of this fucking wife and these terrible kids. Like, this is my existence. They don't have something to fuck. I'm like jealous of people who have something.
So here's the thing is that if I was the butcher at Publix, were you at Publix? Where were you?
Fresh Market.
Fresh Market.
The butcher that gave you shit was at Fresh
at
Market?
Fresh Market? I think they have.
I think I know which fucking dude it was.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the best kind of butcher seafood things that I've met the Intuitive Muse a few times there. But let me say that if I was the butcher on the other side and I'd asked the question, I probably will not ask another question to another client for the rest of the fucking day. If you gave me that long, elongated question, because really, when I ask how you doing, I really wanted to say, we're all good. Yeah,
God,
buddy.
that's the fucking difference between
That's
me
all.
and you. That is so surface and so fucking lame, bro. Like, I would love for somebody to fucking look at me in the eyes and goes, actually, man, I woke up. I've been constipated for 3 days. Haven't been able to take a shit. I'd be like, this guy's got something to say. Like something's going on in his fucking
life. So let me
life.
tell you something. When I say to the cashier, how you doing? And they say to me, they give me their long old story. I would have to stop them and say,
Then why do you say,
sorry.
then why do you ask him how you doing?
It's just being polite. How you doing?
Yeah.
And then you say, how you doing? We're all good
So you're
here.
being fake.
Put
You're just
the stuff
creating
through, I'm out.
a fake social mores to help
No,
lubricate your day.
No, it's not fake.
That's
It's
what
just,
I'm talking about.
That is fake.
Dumbing yourself
if you're asking
down.
a question that you don't want a response from,
No,
that's
it's not.
a fake question.
It's like saying hello. How you doing?
But you don't say hello. When you say how you're doing,
yeah, how you doing? And then I say, how you doing?
you're buying into the
Back.
same lame surface
Yeah,
bullshit that
it's
he's
just-
arguing against.
It's just polite. How you doing? How you doing? I don't want to hear your long ass
well,
story.
then don't you think it'd
Well,
be...
so let me clarify. At least in the butcher interaction, it wasn't a "Hey, how's it going?" He said, "What are you up to today?" Which I think is a completely different question. It's like
Fair.
I can't just be like, if somebody says, "What are you up to today?" I can't just go, "Yeah, fine, yeah, fine."
No, they're going to look at you and go, live in the dream. That's what they're going to fucking say if they want to do a PR response.
I will have to take that out of my repertoire. What you're up to today?
I agree.
Because I am
You
pretty
should.
sure I have said that.
Because that makes you sound like a fucking, like a lame person if you're asking questions that you don't expect responses to.
Yeah. When I ask those questions to strangers, I expect a strange response.
What if they look at you and go, are you just asking me as social politeness or do you really want to know about my day? What's your response?
I actually have been responding. A lot of people have been asking about my health journey, and I attempt with certain people to go through honestly and as detailed as I want to, and then within like 30 seconds you can tell that they go deadpan and they're like, oh shit, what did I sign
Yeah, I was
up
going to
for?
say, the problem is they're always going to say,
So-
I really want to hear about it. They don't.
Well, so now I'm calling their bullshit, and I say, do you actually want to hear the details of what I've been going through, or are you just trying to be nice?
I mean, the problem is now the more interesting person is going to go, well, I was just being nice, but shit, this sounds fucking rad. Tell me about it.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. Not dropping myself to the dumb level of somebody else who's just bullshitting me.
Who's just asking you how you're doing, but not
And-
expecting a response?
And then I don't have to dumb myself down, so then I'm happier being myself and describing in the fucking gory detail of everything that I've been doing.
Yeah.
As long as they're
This was
interested.
good. This was like a good work through. PR illustrated the exact person that you were talking to.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
No, it's the challenge that I'm having here is that we're talking about such distinctly different engagements, right? If we're talking to, and I would consider the butcher a complete stranger, right? And that whole experience, everyone in the fresh market or Publix or any one of those places, Trader Joe's that we frequent, the conversations I have there.
Fuck Trader Joe's, by the way. I don't go to that fucking place.
So the conversations that I have with people, and Trader Joe's are probably the most high energy people. So I
because
guard
they
against.
all had to fucking Mad Max Thunderdome to get a fucking parking spot. That shithole.
So the reality of my conversations there is my greet. It's kind of a meet and greet. I'm getting in there. I got my trolley. I'm gonna do my shopping, and I want to go out. I want to leave. I don't really want to know about anyone's.
Then stop
day.
asking.
No, I'm not. I would say, how you doing? When I get to the cashier, the guy says, how you doing? I'll say, yeah, I'm good. How you doing? Thank you.
You're perpetuating the
Pack-
fucking shit that Trevor's complaining
No,
about. By
so
doing
what I'm
that.
saying is, so what do I do? Do I say nothing?
You go.
When a person says, how you doing? I say,
No, you go, hey man, good to see you. It's fucking hot outside. I don't know. Come up with some other lubricant.
No weather.
Why? There's nothing else to say other than it's fucking 10,000 degrees. We don't live somewhere where there's
So I'm
anything
saying is that
interesting to
it's
say about the weather.
It's just kind of a, in reality, a lot of the times when people make those comments, they are lazy. We're not going anywhere with this conversation.
I mean, if you want to get a little advanced.
Here's where I get concerned, though, because if those conversations happen with people we know, right? That's where I get concerned. Because
That's where you got to make up shit.
yeah,
is what
no,
you're saying.
not make up shit. I want people to know who they're actually dealing with. So when we go to Hop, for example, right, those conversations we have, I think, I want people to know who I am, who I really am.
Well, you're shifting away from the question that Trevor asked.
So I'm saying that the
Trevor didn't ask, I'm dumbing myself down with my friends. I'm going through life, meeting people. I think I want them to like me. I come in dumb. As our relationship progresses, I let myself loose. They see how much smarter I am, and sometimes that implodes. He's now thinking that he should come at these initial interactions with people on a more Trevor level, and those people be weeded out early because if they're fucking dumb and don't want to hang with what he's fucking presenting, because those relationships may present. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes, it's precisely what I'm saying.
So he's not saying that he all of a sudden wants to go to fucking Hop and meet and hang out with the people that he knows and
people that we don't know. There are people that come to the Hop that we meet for the first time.
Okay. That is more along the lines.
That's what I'm saying. And then I want the person at the Hop to not feel that I'm judging them up or down. And I want them to know that I am who I am presenting myself at face value, right?
Sure.
And if, for example, I engage with them and I enjoy the engagement, I will continue to engage with them and welcome them there from time to time. But if, for example, I find them to be manipulative and not authentic, that'll be the end of it. And I do have people like that at the Hop where I choose not to engage with extensively. There are others that I choose to, to kind of hang out with.
Yeah.
And, so I wouldn't want to manipulate those relationships at all. I just want to, be myself. We've had some really good engagements with new people that have joined us over the last 2 or 3 Hops.
So I want to reinforce that this isn't some like chosen manipulation. I'm not like sitting down at my home throne and being like, who am I going to manipulate today? I think it's just a natural human instinct to enter into the niceties, the surface bullshit conversations to win people's approval, and then masks are shed, and then it's I don't know, it's like dating or whatever.
I feel you. No, and that's the point I was making about how, and that's why I was making the point about how ridiculous PR sounds when he says he doesn't want to. He wants to go through life and it be a social lubricant. Then he go, hey man, how's it going? What's going on in your life? And for somebody to go, nothing much, man, hanging out. Why would you fucking say that?
No, so here's the situation. When I say that at Trader Joe's, I really don't want to engage. So I really want to have a very superficial discussion in those instances, right? Because I'm there to get my shit, pay, and leave. When I'm at a social engagement, right, I really am there to engage. I'm not there to say, hey, how you doing? Whatever. I'm not there to have a superficial discussion. So there, I want to present myself as to who I really am. And I want that person to present to me who they really are. And then we're going to decide whether we're going to continue a discussion.
I would argue that social events that you're describing is what I'm shedding, and you're not going to go up at a happy hour mixer of business people and start talking about six-handed massages. But we talk about that here.
Yeah.
I am working through getting to the point of being like,
that's what he wants to do. He
I
wants to
go
take
straight in.
I'm saying, here's a card. Fucking PR's going, I raise you, and he's going fucking all in. That's the difference between what we're discussing.
Well, I'm saying that there's instances where, when you and I were starting off, when we first started off way back in, I don't know, what's that, 4 years ago at, what's the place called? The Armando's, right? I mean, we didn't talk about our deepest inner secrets, right? We were basically seeing whether we had enough in common to be able to, and you saw who I was, and hopefully over that period, I haven't changed 180 degrees.
Well, but I think we were bullshitting each other.
Yes,
for
and
a while.
where you're different, PR, what you're talking about, you're way more amenable. You're amenable enough that as he slowly came out of his shell and became more and more Trevor, you were sticking around because you fucking liked it. And it just survival of the fittest.
No.
What he's saying is that in those initial circumstances, he's no longer going to be fucking faking it and courteous the way he was with you then.
Well,
he's going to be fucking straight up Trevor, and a lot of people are going to say fuck this shit, but it's going to save him the time of getting to know the person.
It's going to save time, and it's going to let true, honest connection surface
I mean,
faster.
faster. That's saving time. I think it would have happened anyway. It's just that you have to do it so many times and keep up so many friendships that ultimately are meaningless to get the ones that actually matter and stick
Right.
around.
So my concerns. I'm not sure where we're going, because my initial understanding of where we were was that you're going to fake it initially. You're going to dumb yourself down in those interactions, and over time you are going to work it up to the 6-handed massage, right?
That's not what he's. That's what he's saying he used to do. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to stop doing that.
So now you want to just
He wants
go
to come in
and say,
hot and fucking beat Trevor.
Well, I would say that's great.
You
Go
better-
ahead and beat Trevor.
You better bite that pillow. I'm coming in dry.
Yeah. I
Lube
think
it up,
that's,
ease it in there inch by
that
inch,
is
like
that
a
is.
gentleman.
I would like to think that is, what I'm going to do in every interaction. What Nick's going to do in it. Well,
No,
Nick is
absolutely
a little.
not.
Nick is a little
I'm
bit
not,
different.
dude. I'm picking at both of you guys. I love it. You guys live your fucking life. That is not me. I go into every situation wearing a mask.
I would agree. I
Fucking
think.
period. You're out of your fucking minds.
I think.
And
you
so
are,
do you, and so do you.
Yeah.
You're just fucking playing it here, and you probably have yourselves fooled that you don't do that. But truth be told, every scenario I walk into is not fucking Nick. Me looking in the mirror by myself at my house is not Nick. This is fucking dark. Every single person has it in them. You push that shit aside and you be who you need to be in each situation.
Well,
to
I
succeed.
think that you have. That's your skill set to be manipulative and.
I'm not
read-
fucking manipulating
No,
anybody,
can
dude.
I
I'm
just-
having fun.
Yeah, but
I like
no,
to party.
No, I know. But I'm saying that you are looking at the situation and you're saying, what's the Nick that I need to present in this situation? And I think that if I look at your skill set as a jury consultant, that is something that you need a heightened kind of sense on as to what are you reading in the in what
Fair.
people are saying,
I agree.
right? So that's your job Monday to Friday.
But if I were to do what Trevor is suggesting, what I would be doing is being like, hey, man, hey, what's your name? PR? It's nice to meet you. How are you doing, Nick? I'm grasping with the fact that we're all born, we all die, and none of this fucking matters. How are you doing? Like, does anybody want to be around somebody like that? Do you think that's going to help me succeed? Giving people the philosophy of what I think we really are is going to help anything? No. I'm putting on a fucking mask. I'm realizing, ultimately, in big picture, none of this fucking shit matters. But this little window of time is going to matter. Let me see what matters to this person. Let me see how that overlaps with what I've got, and let's fucking party and have fun.
Yeah, but that bit of information that you've just shared is irrelevant when you're sitting at Fiddler's. So when I'm interacting with you at Fiddler's, right? And you're gonna say, "Hey, PR, how you doing?" I'm gonna say, "You know what? The most important thing to me are my two boys." Like, fucking hell.
I mean, you kind of do that a
Who the
little
hell
bit.
is this guy?
You
right?
kind of do.
Nah, listen, when we have an interaction in the pub,
And you talk
That's-
about charcuterie.
yes,
You talk about
I talk about pub stuff.
the North Pole.
I talk
Like,
about
you talk
pub
about the
stuff.
shit that you really care about.
No. So
6-handed massages.
yes, but I haven't talked. So the thing is that you've got to have enough
Look at him
ammunition.
smiling, turning
You've
red.
got to have enough. I'm excited now.
I
We're
can
back at the
tell.
North
Look
Pole.
at you. I know, rawr, like a polar bear.
But what I'm
He'll
saying
get
is
ya.
that your particular, which is it's a skill that you have, right? And that's great for you, right? It's not a skill that I have. I don't read people like that. I take everyone at face value. I really do. The result of that is, I'm surprised at a point when people disappoint me, and then you only disappoint me once, and then I leave, I move away, right? Whereas with you constantly, and that's a skill you have, which is fantastic.
See, I do love that. I don't have the fucking fuck me once, shame on me, or fuck me once, shame on you, fuck me twice, shame on me. I don't have that. I'm disappointed in everybody all the time. Everything's fucking terrible. So
Yeah.
I expect it. So I'm like, cool, whatever, keep
Yeah.
fucking rolling, man.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I'm really not trying to read situations. I'm not trying to read people. I would give them the benefit of the doubt. But there's a point in time when somebody has, said something or has tried to manipulate a situation, and that's happened. And when it does, I move away politely. I'm out. But I would always present myself, and I don't have that as a skill of mine. I would think that if I had it, fantastic. Reading people. My wife, on the other hand, has that as a skill. She's really good. She meets somebody for the first time, right? And she'd be able to say,
Well,
that
is this helping you with your decision?
No.
No.
Well,
I didn't think so.
I think that what Trevor has raised, which I'm concerned about, and I'd like you to kind of, talk about it not in the deli situation, but in a let's call it a hop situation. If somebody new comes in, how do you interact there?
Yeah, what are you striving to do? How do you want to be?
Yeah, so that's been bubbling up lately since sobriety. That so booze suppresses all the want to.
It's a social lubricant, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have that.
I dumb myself down and then interact, and that's why I was easy to get along with, and a lot of people liked me. And now that I don't have the alcohol to band-aid all that up, I don't want to fucking talk to some people because they're surface idiots.
And my point at the beginning was that is a side effect of sobriety in an intelligent person, is that you're gonna realize that most people are not worth talking to.
Well,
that's
I don't
where
think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
it's not making me sad or miserable.
Yeah, that's where I draw a little distinction. It's not about the level of intelligence. It's about your social skills. It's very difficult to interact with somebody when you are completely sober and I have had 3 glasses of wine.
I mean,
our social skills are just different.
I guess, but I don't think. Are you talking about when you're talking to people who are already drunk, or are you just talking about meeting new people?
All the above.
Yeah.
Like any scenario you can have.
I could see that being a contributing factor,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's really what he's talking about. I don't think he's saying that people are disappointing him because they're intoxicated. I think he's saying people are disappointing him because they don't have anything to impress him with. That most people are just fucking vanilla milk toast.
Yeah. So I would say that, the counter I would have with Trevor on that one is that for the hop, the challenge is you're coming to an environment where everyone's there to do one thing, to drink, right? You are there not drinking.
I guess.
So you are kind of the odd one out. So the fact that you're feeling uncomfortable and not finding...
it's not uncomfortable.
I'll be with you this week.
So I'm saying that...
Sober, baby.
There's 20, 30 people there. They're coming to have a drink. And the reality of it is that the alcohol is the social lubricant. The fact that you are choosing not to drink means that you have, in a way, chosen to disengage from the very core of a hop.
Yeah.
So the fact that you don't find anything to talk about is more on you than on those that have come to nobody's going to have in a hop in a place where people have come to drink going to have a serious philosophical discussion, sober discussion.
I mean, I had some of the most philosophical discussions that I remember and really enjoyed at a place called the Falcon Pub in Fort Lauderdale during law school. Like, we'd go after and drink and fucking just beat each other up.
Yes, but it's a philosophical discussion over a drink. It's very difficult to have a philosophical discussion with somebody where one has had booze and one hasn't.
I mean, there were people who didn't drink, I honestly don't even remember.
The philosophies they're not congruent at that point.
I mean, I guess.
So booze or not, at the point that I get bored, I think I run circles around people and start poking and prodding to the point that irritation goes to like annihilation.
Yeah, I'd
relationship
say,
annihilation.
But I think that's more in a hop environment or in those kind of social environments, and I think it's important that we talk about the particular social environment, But I don't think that I don't see it as you trying to manipulate those situations. I think that is your way of trying to understand the other person. I think that's your technique. It's almost like those calls that people, you're trying to push their buttons as far as you can push them. And with time, you will reveal more and more. So I think you're playing a game, really, than trying to... I don't think you come across as being disrespectful, though. Because I think that's how it can the way you articulate it initially.
Are you just thinking in your mind out loud?
No.
He wasn't asking if whether he was being offensive at all. What he's trying to do is he's struggling with the opposite of what you're talking about. He's struggling with he wants to cut the fat. He wants to fucking actually have conversations with people.
No. The way I understood it initially is that you started with a dumbed down kind of version of it, and then you elevated the conversation.
And that's what he's trying to skip the.
I'm pulling a bait and switch on the deal and trying to raise consciousness into, hey, if you're gonna I'll dumb down to trick you into talking to me, but the ulterior motive is to raise people up into having intelligent, witty conversation, and not just this surface shit.
Fucking good luck with that shit. The point I was making by saying the shit earlier about people being milquetoast, I fucking try to drag anything interesting out of people I talk to because I'm trying to understand different caricatures, stereotypes. I'm trying to get what make people tick so that I can utilize it with jury selection. So I talk, and fucking 95% of people are just a blank slate of nothing. Like, there is just nothing there to pull. So then you just try to enjoy the ephemera of the small period of time that we have together. And what do you get from that? Very surface shit. Hey, man, you fucking cool car, dude. I like your shirt. All right. Yeah, I like your shoes, man. Cool. And back and forth. We enjoyed the interaction. We leave. Never fucking changed anybody. But it still is a socially lubricated experience that we enjoyed. If you're really thinking that you're going to go into situations and be yourself and have more than very, very odd, very rare circumstances of true connection with somebody, I think you're fucking delusional. I think I think the vast majority of everybody is fucking nobody.
But
it's a sea of the same fucking nerd. It's a sea of the same fucking Gary, the same fucking Karen, the same person that is just wake up, trot through life, fucking wade through the bog of misery, fucking drink a beer so that you forget about how terrible it is and
then
go
I'm
to
just
sleep.
going to throw in the towel and become a professional troublemaker.
I do it. I think that you'd be more happy. I think that is where your fucking happiness lies. When I read your first review of the fucking guy that used his phone in here, you could tell you're at your happiest when you're fucking doing that shit. People make careers out of that, Trevor.
I'm in.
I think that'd be great. I think that's better than trying to dumb yourself down and fucking hang out with PR where, tucked in polo shirts talking about synergy all day long and being positive. I think you'd have a much better time.
Speaking of tucked in polo shirts, I think I've made a permanent fashion decision that I'm never going to wear a collared shirt ever again.
Really?
Yeah. It's starting to drive me nuts. Like I wear it when I have to, and the entire time I'm wearing the collared shirt, I'm like, get this fucking thing.
Dude,
off
I love
me.
the collar on vintage fucking Hawaiian shirts so much I could never do it. Plus, I have to wear a fucking suit and tie every day, so I have to wear collars. But with my Hawaiian shirts, dude, I love an open Hawaiian shirt with a fucking jacket when the weather's nice. Fucking
I
good
don't
look.
mind the jacket doesn't bother me, but I think I'm going to be the super nice T-shirt and jacket kind of guy.
I mean, that's a look. That's a good look for a troublemaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, PR? You strike me as a phone on a belt clip type guy.
Ooh, I used to do that.
Oh, of
Believe
course.
it or not.
We all did in the
High
fucking
school,
late
man.
90s. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
We all.
Well, I mean, you were already, 42?
So let me just say that I've never owned a cover on a cell phone.
Ooh, that's a
meant-
very distinct lifestyle.
Which
That
meant
is. That is.
meant that
Risk taker.
I could
Yeah.
never
Look at you.
I
Damn.
could have never had a belt clip
You could. They sold them that
on-
were not on cases. They stuck on the back.
stuck in back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, clearly an authority on belt clips.
Oh, I had
phones.
one. Dude, I also had a pager with a chain on it when I was in fucking high school. Yeah, it was a good look.
So no, I'm very fashion and trend conscious,
Yeah.
and part of that is to make
debatable.
sure that when you have a beautiful design like this, you don't hide it with a cover. That to me is what design.
I mean,
is
the most
all
case
about,
I ever
right?
have is just like Trev's Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have the same phone and cover, I think. So, like, it's just the thing on the back so that it falls. But otherwise, I agree with you. I even buy the Apple just so it looks almost exactly like the phone.
Yeah.
But I drop it enough that I fucking need.
Yeah, so
the
I'm very
corner covers.
particular, as you know, that I
Yeah.
wash my car 3 or 4 times a week. So no, I've been fortunate enough to own
Oh
a
yeah,
phone,
you wore a $1,000 belt to our podcast,
and
didn't
I've
you?
never dropped it.
A Hermes
Right,
belt.
so
Ugh,
it's Hermes.
I know it is. I gotcha.
All right, let's talk about some mother licking Funkler nuggets.
Oh, shifting right in, baby. Hey, baby. Fucking cramming in dry.
Yeah,
I
we're
like
going
it.
in dry,
I
baby.
know how you roll.
Hey, I've got one quick one.
Yeah.
Right. So as you know, Ed and I have been out a few times, and this is very superficial.
This should be
I
the
like
new
to see your
a
bromance.
segment.
I like
Yeah.
to see your bromance blossoming.
Who
This is
pays?
a very-
who's the
this is
man? Who pays?
Who's
This is a
who's
very
bottom?
we don't talk about who pays.
Uh-oh. Who is the bottom?
But so actually we
Yeah,
went to Flutes.
obviously.
Have you guys been to Flutes?
No. Where is it?
In the Winter Park,
Flutes?
in the Winter Park Village. So it's a champagne bar.
Right next to Chayote.
You know, I've heard of it. Maybe you told me, PR,
So
but I have heard of it recently.
I was
haven't
there.
been.
I went there for the first time, and so Ed, you tell them what you think, and then I'll give them my review after that.
Flutes opened like a year ago. It's supposed to be, well, it is a champagne bar focusing on bubbles, proseccos, and champagnes. I was gonna ask you about the champagne menu because I was in a different headspace, so I didn't really get to analyze the menu.
Oh yes,
too
he was
much.
at a.
I
he-
just
you were
ordered a
f-
beer,
What were you, like a 4 out of 10 or something, or 7 out of 10?
something like that, and then I was
Yeah.
thinking about something else, so I didn't get to
Okay.
look at the champagne menu.
Right.
But how was the champagne menu?
So I thought
'Cause that's their
so
main
I went
thing.
for the champagne. I didn't do the prosecco. So here's the thing that I enjoyed. The person on the other side was really engaging, understood champagne, the subtle difference between prosecco and champagne. These are little things. She was just not a server then, right? She became somebody.
She's trying to be a sommelier.
She was trying to be a sommelier. She didn't say she was one, so I'm going to say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Right? Because it is a professional designation. She would have said so. So I don't think she was. She's a server, but she was very engaging. She helped me make the decision between a prosecco and a champagne. I'm happy to engage.
I mean, if you're going to a place called Flutes, you would expect a fucking sommelier to be able to tell you about the different champagnes.
Yes.
Right?
And that's why I would say if you enjoy that kind of thing,
Yeah.
it's definitely a place to go to. I found her engaging. I found her to be relatively knowledgeable. I said, and Ed would know this, right? Because, listen, I'm a wine snob, but I will ask the question. I said to her, I'm not so sure whether I should go with a Prosecco or a Champagne. That was my introductory comment, right? Now, I know enough about both, but I was prepared to engage. And she engaged, and she helped me make the decision that I'm going to prefer the Champagne. And which is what I had, and I had maybe too many
Fucking
glasses of it.
Where's
nerd
this
hour.
going?
No,
He's just talking.
I'm saying Flutes is definitely, if you're looking for a champagne experience in Winter Park, it's a very good
Nice.
experience. What they also had, which we had, was a
Charcuterie board.
Oh yeah, you just didn't
we
want
had
to
a
say it.
they had a champagne charcuterie board,
So exciting.
right?
It's just chopped
So,
meat and cheese, baby.
Hey, listen.
Hit me.
Which I was not impressed.
Really stepping outside
Oh,
your
Ed
comfort
wasn't even
zone.
impressed.
So
Eh.
no, but he was in a different mind space there by
Oh.
then. I mean,
Drunk?
Drunk and thinking about a babe.
Oh, nice.
So, he wasn't as engaged. I was the only one that had the charcuterie board.
You don't say.
So what I'm saying is that if you want to go Monday to Friday for a good champagne and charcuterie board, Flutes, Winter Park Village,
Awesome.
place to go. Highly recommend.
So I got some shit.
Love it. What do
Quick
you got?
note: quicksand and sparrows have the best charcuterie boards. I don't even.
What's
I don't
quicksand?
care. Quicksand and on Colonial.
Oh,
Same
I
owners
think
as,
you guys did talk about
Same
it.
owners as Golden Hour.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean,
Sparrow,
we
I'd
talked about
agree
Sparrow
there.
last week. Sparrow's fucking out of control. The place is great, excellent. I have one that's kind of outside of our like wheelhouse, but it's a food truck, a local food truck called Swedish. So it's sweet. She's Swedish. She's straight up fucking Nordic, and she's like gone. She's like, yeah, I usually leave in the summer because it's so fucking hot here, but she's here. She's at Ivanhoe Park Brewery every fucking look her up on Instagram. I forget. I think it's the first Sunday of every month and like the third Sunday of every month. But she's there. Her food's amazing. Like, she's clearly from fucking Sweden. She's making this food truly Swedish style.
So it was like salmon and
Yeah, so they
you
have
know.
that. They have, but the meatballs are kind of the big dish. But they had a rotating classic dessert, rotating appetizers. Lynn and I went there, Ivanhoe Park, where I had kombucha, which I usually don't fucking dig on, but they actually have a really good one there that I enjoyed, a ginger. But I highly recommend checking Swedish out and following her, trying to snag some of that because it was excellent.
So
Fucking
food
good.
truck where again? Say.
Well, she goes everywhere.
Okay.
You follow her on Instagram because she
Right.
posts where she's going to be.
Swedish.
But I think she's at Ivanhoe Park the first Sunday and the third Sunday of every month. Ivanhoe Park Brewery. Which they have really good beers. They have a rice lager from Japan that's excellent. And then the kombucha is what I've been drinking because I'm not drinking alcohol right now. But it was fantastic.
Isn't there alcohol in kombucha?
Not these.
Oh,
No. So
it's fermented, right?
fermented.
it is fermented, but no alcohol. Says it on the can. You don't have to show an ID to buy it. But it was, and then their air conditioner works really well in Ivanhoe Park. I feel like I need to say that because when I drove by, I didn't think it would, and it does. So it was pleasant inside.
Because they have the garage doors.
I'll let you know. Yeah, but they have them closed when
Oh.
it's this fucking goddamn unbelievably hot outside. So did that. Hit Fiddler's Green. I do want to just mention Fiddler's Green over the weekend because it was Jenya's going away party. She is retired now from working. So she left, and we were all saying bye to her. If you guys know who she is, Jenny. It was her last day, so she is gone.
Retired from working?
Yeah, she's retired from working.
Isn't she younger than I am?
She is.
Or
younger
I
than
was
us,
thinking,
yeah.
do I know somebody else? Because I thought she's like not even
She's-
30.
No, she's just going to be a housewife now, I guess.
Okay.
She's
Oh, she
retired.
has a
a
bow?
like a bow, and they're getting married. And by all, I can't really tell. She didn't make any announcements, but she made it pretty clear that she's just retiring to stay at home.
retirement.
So she's retired. But it was, I love her. It's sad saying goodbye to her, but it is what it is. Congratulations to her. And then I did Inzian to see the new Wes Anderson film, The Phoenician Scheme, and it was fantastic.
Was
it? Yeah, I don't know if it's your style because so Wes Anderson films
I like a little Wes
are
Anderson.
very form over function. So they are not their plot. There is a plot. Generally, it's kind of the same plot for every movie, but with different kicks here and there. But it's really about the form of the film. It's like a moving piece of art. This one even he hits it on the head where he has like pieces of art at the beginning. He's telling you this is as if you're watching a painting. So you can enjoy the plot, but really enjoy the dialogue, enjoy the scenery, enjoy it as a work of art as opposed to a plot-driven Marvel film. If you do that, excellent. And Inzian, I've talked about a million times, also fucking rad. So those are a couple things that I did. Check it out. You got anything else? You got any Funkler news? No? You
I'm
blew your wad?
grinding through the last 3 weeks to a goal on June 30th, and culminates with blood work, doctor's appointments, just to check everything into what I've done in the last 6 months.
Nice.
And then 2 weeks of a break to reset my body, get my joints and ligaments and all the stuff, back to normal.
Very cool.
So yeah, grinding in to these last 3 weeks, and yeah.
Awesome, man.
You're gonna shock your doctor when they put you through all that machine. It's go like, no, we've made a mistake. This guy,
is it the same guy?
No, this is not the same guy.
Yeah.
We can't believe that's
love it.
in those veins.
I think I dropped another year on my whatever the
So
assumed.
now it's 35.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Impressive,
Yeah.
man.
Rock and roll.
Impressive.
All right, shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up, shake 'em.
It's been real with you guys, huh?
Yeah,
I like partying with you guys, hanging
All
out.
right. Well, I want to say thank you to DJ Raja and Blue Raja and the
Blue
Prince of
Raja.
Misery.
I like it.
Also, the Wizard of Ed and the Intuitive Muse. Appreciate you guys. We're the best friends that a group could ever have.
Mm.
And hope you guys enjoyed listening to this. Special thanks to Atomic Barber Company, Allstate, and Sadul Law and Bartleby Jury Selection. Holy moly. What a ride.
I like it, man. You guys have a good one.
What a great day.
Yeah. See you in the promised land.